So I'm Robyn Rowland, and I've been living in Ireland and Turkey, and I'm back on the south coast of New South Wales, just below the Tablelands in Shell Harbour. And I really appreciate John being asked to read a couple of poems for this. The first challenge was one of your favourite poems, and that's a really difficult thing because I think we tend to remember ones from long ago. Our minds get so filled with other things. And it's very hard because who could go past some of the most beautiful Turkish poetry, which I'm reading now, or my beloved Adrian Rich, Diving into the Wreck, Robert Frost, Birches, I think the most perfect poem to have been written. After apple picking, I am tired of the great harvest I myself desired. And Yeats, of course, Evan Boland in Ireland. I mean, you could just go on and on. So seeing I'm living where I'm living, and I was thinking I'm in the house caring for my father, who's 100 and a half, and I'm reflecting on growing up here. The house you grow up in is not always full of good memories, some good, some bad. So I'm trying to adjust to a really different life under COVID-19 and 24/7 caring, a bit different from my international travels. So I kind of settled back into some poems that I loved when I first started writing poetry, and I'm going to read one of Judith Wright's poems that I've always loved, and I think I learned from her that it is okay to have an excess of adjectives. I am sometimes criticised for this and re-edited for this, and I do it to myself the best way I can, but I love the way she gathers so many words in a kind of a luscious way, and also she has a great sense of narrative, of course. And this poem sort of harks back to the old Banjo Paterson and Henry Lawson that I grew up with as well. And I'm back in this landscape, so it seemed appropriate. South of my days. South of my days' circle, part of my blood's country, rises that tableland, high, delicate outline of bony slopes wincing under the winter. Low leaves, blue-veined and olive, outcropping granite, clean, lean, hungry country. The creek's leaf silenced, willow choked. The slope a tangle of medlar and crabapple branching over and under, blotched with the green lichen. And the old cottage lurches in for shelter. Oh, cold, the black frost night. The walls draw into the warmth and the old roof cracks its joints. The slung kettle hisses a leak on the fire. Hardly to be believed that summer will turn up again some day in a wave of rambler roses, thrust its hot face in here to tell another yarn. A story old Dan can spin into a blanket against the winter. 70 years of stories he clutches round his bones. 70 summers are hived in him like honey. Droving that year Charleville to the Hunter, 19-1 it was, and the drought beginning, 60 head left at the McIntyre, the mud round them hardened like iron, and the yellow boy died in the sulky ahead with the gear, but the horse went on, stopped at the sandy camp, and waited in the evening. It was the flies we seen first, swarming like bees. Came to the Hunter, 300 head of 1,000, cruel to keep them alive, and the river was dust. Or mustering up in the bogongs in the autumn when the blizzards came early. Brought them down, we brought them down, what aren't there yet. Or driving for cobs on the run up from Tamworth. Thunderbolt at the top of Hungry Hill, and I give him a wink. I wouldn't wait long, Fred, not if I was you. The troopers are just behind, coming for that job at the Hillgrove. He went like a loony, him on his big black horse. Oh, they slide and they vanish as he shuffles the years like a pack of conjurer's cards. True or not, it's all the same. And the frost on the roof cracks like a whip, and the backlog breaks into ash. Wake, old man. This is winter, and the yarns are over. No one is listening. South of my day's circle, I know it dark against the stars, the high, lean country full of old stories that still go walking in my sleep. Thank you.